What is up, great people of YouTube? Thank you guys for tuning into my debut talk show, the Astronomical Show, hashtag TAS. Most of you returning subscribers know that I have been involved with this channel in gaming, Madden to be specific, but I've really wanted to experiment with doing this talk show on YouTube, since I just love the talking sports. I'm mainly a football guy, big Broncos, Packers guy, so definitely some NFL talks will be here, some college ball. I do watch some NBA basketball from time to time, especially playoffs. College basketball during March Madness, which is coming up on March 13th. Hockey, baseball, soccer. We may talk down the road depending on the guests that are on the show. It's going to be a great time on here. Not trying to really be as professional as most shows. It's mainly something where the boys can just, shoot the breeze and talk with other sports fans. Before I go further with sports talk, I want to acknowledge that this is a difficult time for the world right now, as we are all praying for peace and praying for Ukraine during these events that are happening with Russia. You're all in our hearts, Ukraine, and we fully stand with you on this show. All right, so last night before I went to sleep, I saw Cam Newton trending all over Twitter. A tweet from @FanDuel had asked, "Is Cam Newton a Hall of Famer?" Of course, many Newton fans and Stafford fans were arguing about things last night, and I thought to weigh in on this. I believe Cam is a great player. If he can find a team that can use his abilities to help him win a championship or help that team go further in the playoffs, I think Cam gets in. For sure, Cam already has the win percentage over Stafford. But for Stafford, I gotta say, Stafford's a Hall of Famer. But I do believe he's going to it has to do because of more success down the road with this Rams team, and it'll lead to more accolades for him, especially, with a team they potentially will have if they keep OBJ and Von Miller, because those guys were definitely big parts to why they won the Super Bowl. That being said, I think the Rams may run it back or will potentially win more Super Bowls with Stafford. More wins and rings will equal more respect for Stafford, in my opinion. Later today, we will be joined by my good friend Luke Chaney, writer and reporter for the University of Miami, and many other things. I'll definitely shoot the question if Luke believes Cam deserves a gold jacket or not. We'll also be talking about the impact of the hiring of Mike McDaniel for the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins will have great success. So I wonder how our Miami fan feels about this. So news out of at Barstool Sports, Amazon was prepared to give Rams head coach Sean McVay $100 million to walk away from the Rams organization and into broadcasting for Thursday Night Football. I'm sure many Rams fans are happy to hear that McVay shot down those rumors of leaving after the Super Bowl, and McVay is clearly here to stay. Telling Aaron Donald to run it back during the championship parade in LA. I really wish the Rams success. I'm pretty excited for them, mainly because of Stafford. I've watched Detroit in the past, and it sucks how they just weren't successful. And, I always remember watching every single Thanksgiving game and seeing Matthew Stafford play. So to see him have success in LA, it's very exciting. As a Matthew Stafford fan, I wish him the best success in LA. So lastly, before we head to break, at My Sports Update via Ari Mirov has said the NFL is sending the Packers, Saints, and Jags to London next season, with the Bucks going to Germany and the Cardinals in Mexico. Those are the home teams, so we will find out the away opponents down the stretch. So very great to have a lot of diversity in watching these games. And I know definitely all those fans are going to be super excited. All right, going to take a quick break, and we will be back in a few with our special guest, hashtag TAS. is up, great people of YouTube? Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Astronomical Show debut. Today, we've got a guest who is a writer and editor for the Miami Hurricanes Sports, Miami Dolphins writer for 5 Reasons Sports, play-by-play for WVUM Sports, and of course, he is the host of South Beach Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Chaney.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Very happy to be on, Vince. I'm doing well. Doing well. Cannot complain. Cannot complain.
That's great, buddy. Thank you so much for being on the show. So earlier on, we were talking about some stuff that was trending online, and last night it was Cam Newton. So I have to ask you the question before we start: is Cam Newton a Hall of Famer?
Ooh, I'm try. I know quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame has been something that's been talked about a lot with Matt Stafford. I've seen Matt Ryan's name been brought up. I'm just trying to think of some like the recent quarterbacks to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Well, let me ask you this: do you consider Matthew Stafford a Hall of Fame quarterback?
I got to go with yes. I know some people are going to roast me about this, but yes, I absolutely think Matthew Stafford deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Absolutely.
All right. Well, if that's the qualification for it, then yes, I do think that Cam Newton deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. But it just I for quarterbacks, I don't know what like the threshold is, because I mean for other positions such as linebacker, and I'm gonna go quick to my Dolphins roots. Someone like Zach Thomas, who multi-time Pro Bowler, all pro level linebacker, stats comparable to the likes of Brian Urlacher. He is someone that has not been inducted into the Hall of Fame. He's been a finalist for the past couple seasons. So, I mean, just comparing the greatness levels of Cam Newton and Matthew Stafford to that of Zach Thomas, it's really not comparable in my opinion. But I don't really know what the threshold is for quarterbacks. So I'm curious to see guys like Matthew Stafford, Cam Newton, Matt Ryan's another one that's kind of like a toss up. Where these guys land when it comes to all that Hall of Fame stuff.
All right, great take on that. So speaking of Hall of Famers, of course, another tweet I saw earlier today from, I'm pretty sure you've seen it, from Pro Football Talk. The Dolphins were apparently planning to pair up Tom Brady and Sean Payton. What are your thoughts on that, even though it might be bullshit?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the validity of their reports. Um, for Pro Football Talk has put out a lot of stuff regarding the Dolphins over the course of probably the past year when it comes to Deshaun Watson, and I've tend to be very hesitant when retaining the information that they put out. I'm not saying Pro Football Talk is an absolute like BS organization or website. I just tend to take what I hear from them with I wouldn't say a grain of salt, but with some hesitancy. But I mean, let's say or let's assume, for the sake of the argument, that the report is true and that the Dolphins tried to go after Sean Payton and Tom Brady after the 2022 season. I mean, that would have been a phenomenal pairing. Sean Payton, one of the best coaches, or was one of the best coaches in the NFL before he retired. Same with Tom Brady, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, or probably the greatest quarterback of all time, for being honest. But that would have been a terrific pairing. I would love to see it in Miami, but again, I just don't know how valid or how true that entire report is.
I think if Brady and Peyton were actually paired up together, I see a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, I think that's, if not a Super Bowl, that's a team that's definitely making a deep run into the playoffs. I have no doubt about that whatsoever.
It also seems pretty disrespectful to Tua, though. I mean, bringing in Brady and basically saying that they don't really believe in Tua anymore. I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, I think it's different than if the Dolphins were trying to bring in someone like a Derek Carr or Kirk Cousins or someone like that. Tom Brady, would be a short-term option, I think, in Miami. And I think, like I said, for the sake of the argument, assuming this report is true, I think Stephen Ross would probably interpret it as such. Maybe Tua could have, I guess, learned under Tom Brady for a season or two, while Brady has the reins as the Dolphins' starting quarterback. But I don't think it's necessarily disrespectful to Tua, just because Tom Brady just had an MVP caliber season. He received MVP votes. He led the league in passing yards. He had just had a phenomenal season with the Bucks. I don't think it would be disrespectful to Tua at all. I don't think Tua would necessarily take it that way.
All right, man. So Mike McDaniel, how are you feeling about this hiring and the pairing with Tua?
I love it. I absolutely love it. One, like, I guess, criteria that I use to evaluate head coaches is kind of looking to see like what coaching tree they come from. One coaching tree that has come under like a lot of scrutiny over the past few seasons is the Bill Belichick coaching tree. I mean, just think of some of the head coaches that have come under that tree. I guess you have Bill O'Brien, Joe Judge, Brian Flores, Matt Patricia. I'm forgetting some names. Josh McDaniels. Well, McDaniels now at the Raiders, but he was the head coach once with the Broncos. And there really hasn't been that much success with that coaching tree. A lot of people contribute that to these coaches trying to replicate the Patriot way of coaching, and that way isn't sustainable when you don't have the rings to back it up, such as Bill Belichick. And so I've been very hesitant to take coaches from that coaching tree, which I'm very happy that Mike McDaniel is not, I guess, from that same Belichick coaching tree. Instead, he's from the Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan coaching tree, which I love. It's personally my favorite coaching tree in the NFL just because it has produced some of the brightest young offensive minds in the NFL today, such as Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Mike McDaniel, Matt LaFleur, Mike LaFleur. Who else am I forgetting? Zach Taylor, although I'm not the biggest Zach Taylor fan. It also has produced Brandon Staley through the Sean McVay coaching tree. All those coaches were at one point under the leadership of Mike Shanahan, and those offensive schemes are based around that outside zone, West Coast type scheme that Mike Shanahan really ran. And those coaches have kind of taken that and innovated the scheme from what it once was. So I'm very excited for Mike McDaniel. He's known as one of the brightest offensive minds in the NFL, talking to players that have played for him, talking to coaches who have coached with him. He's thought of very highly, and I'm very excited for the Mike McDaniel era in Miami.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He seems like such a charismatic dude. I saw that
Yeah.
tweet posted with what was it? Him hugging up Christian Wilkins. That was awesome, man.
Yeah. I think it definitely shows the type of guy that he is. And I mean, even though Mike McDaniel isn't the most, I guess, physically imposing guy, and even he's recognized that himself. He says that that he earns respect or demands respect from his players with his smarts and with his ability to get the most out of each player. And he says that players respect that, and players gravitate towards that. And we've seen that throughout his coaching career, especially in San Francisco, and I think we'll definitely see that in Miami.
All right, Luke. I got to shift things, and I got to ask a little bit about yourself, man. We've been talking a lot about stuff, and we haven't really talked about you being a writer. How is it being a student and doing balancing all this stuff with your life? Because right now I was just looking at so much stuff on Twitter, man. You look like you were super busy, and it is amazing how much stuff you get done.
Thank you. That means a lot. Yeah, no, it's just, I mean, I've wanted to be a sports writer and kind of work in sports media since I was a little kid. And now that I'm at Miami, a place that I've loved since I was a child. I mean, I grew up in the Fort Lauderdale, Broward County area, which is about 40 to 45 minutes away from the University of Miami campus. I've been attending Canes football and basketball games pretty much my entire sports fandom life. So to actually be able to write for the university and write about these teams that I once, fanned over, I'm still obviously a fan, but you have to take more of an objective stance when you're writing. But it's a dream come true. I've been able to interview coaches, write feature stories. I've grown so much as a writer. Can't speak enough about University of Miami and the opportunities that I've been able to have through the Miami Hurricane, the students or the school student-run newspaper. Starting to work like play-by-play with WVM 90.5, which is the student-run radio station. Can't speak enough about them and the work that they do as well. And yeah, I'm also working with Ethan Skolnick for 5 Sports now. This is quite recent. I just wanted to be able to write somewhere, I guess, for a professional team, I should say. And as a big Dolphins fan that I am, I thought it was a good match. So yeah, no, I'm definitely staying busy, but I'm very grateful to the University of Miami, to 5 Sports, and the people along the way that have given me the opportunity to where I'm at today.
That is awesome, brother.
Thank
Really
you.
happy for you, man. I really hope things just keep on going up for you. Thank you so much for being on the show today, dude. I have unfortunately run out of questions.
Yeah, you good.
We really appreciate it, man. Guys, go down below in the link in the description section, and Luke's socials will be there. Thank you again, Luke, for joining us on our debut.
Thanks for having me.
We are back, great people of YouTube, from our second and last break. I know the duration isn't that long. I do not want to rush into things, as I am not really a popular show or have a great following as others do. So it wouldn't really make sense to make a full hour of a show. Shifting our attentions quickly to basketball, the Los Angeles Lakers fell 123 to 95 last night versus the New Orleans Pelicans. I only bring this up as many Laker fans on Twitter are giving up on the Lakers as they are still below 500. Let me know what you guys think. Will LeBron be able to salvage this season, or is it already too late? The NBA MVP race is wild right now. Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis staying in their respected positions, with now DeMar DeRozan bumping up to 4th this week and Curry staying at 5. Who do you guys think will win MVP this season? And back to football, big week for NFL prospects, having the NFL Combine back for the 2022 season in Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. I am super excited, as I missed not having a Combine last year. I think it's interesting to see how people perform and how it either rises or lowers their draft stock. I still have more research to do with these prospects, but if there's one QB I'm hoping becomes successful, is Pittsburgh's Kenny Pickett, arguably the most NFL-ready quarterback according to scouts. Many Steeler fans are praying he falls into their arms with the 20th pick to replace the legendary Big Ben Roethlisberger. I personally would love to see Pickett in the black and gold, and I'm sure the Pittsburgh Steelers draft a QB since many Yinzers are not a fan of Mason Rudolph and believe he does not have what it takes to bring Pittsburgh back to top form. Steelers will have to battle with many teams for QBs. So in the draft right here, guys, they won't have to worry about Jacksonville and Detroit, as they are planning to build around those QBs with Lawrence and Goff. Houston is a question mark for sure. I'm really not up to date with the whole Deshaun Watson case. I'm not even sure if the Texans are going to stick with QB Davis Mills from Stanford. Mills had 2,664 passing yards and 16 touchdowns with 10 interceptions in the 2021 season. With the fourth pick, Jets already have Zach Wilson, so expect them to build around the QB from Penn State. Giants potentially could get a new QB after rumors are the Giants are planning to not pick up Daniel Jones's fifth-year option. Carolina could also potentially get a new quarterback with a sixth. Not sure what's going on with Darnold and Newton at the moment, but I guess we'll see what happens. Atlanta holds the eighth, and it's possible they could go after a young QB to take over for Matty Ice in the ATL. So Denver fans, though, they have high hopes of drafting Pickett at 9. It would be interesting to see that happen. But, I feel that Pittsburgh potentially might find a way to trade up before Denver can. I'm wondering what the Washington Commanders will do with their 11th. Rumors are Russ will be on the move from Seattle, so possibly this pick could be traded to Seattle for Russ. Minnesota plans to build up with Kirk Cousins, and the Browns could also draft a QB as Mayfield didn't have a great season, although he did play hurt most of the season. Baltimore, Philly, and the Chargers should be set with the quarterbacks having Lamar and Jalen Hurts, and of course Justin Herbert or Jay Herbo. Saints could potentially scoop in and take a QB, even though they have Taysom Hill, who proved not to be the most reliable QB last season. And of course, as we were talking about Pittsburgh, they could get a QB with a 20th, or perhaps trade up for Pickett, since there are many teams interested in an NFL-ready QB. The rest of the teams, I will do my research on. Those are the remaining picks. So there you guys go. I am super excited for the Combine and Draft. We potentially will have a show on the weekend, depending on how great the Combine was for this upcoming week. I will post on my socials and update you guys if a show is coming this week. I really appreciate all you guys for watching and tuning in. I hope to make longer and better content for you guys in the future. Thank you for watching. #TAS.